We applied the same methods as I just described when we made the Icelandic Modern Media Initiative. We looked at if I wanted to start a tax haven tomorrow, what would I do? I would pull together all the best laws to ensure secrecy and pull them together to create a shield of secrecy so I could swindle in peace. So we looked at all the best laws when it comes to freedom of information, expression, and speech. And actually, not laws that only look good on paper, but that work. So we modeled 13 different laws on good functioning laws in countries that we compare ourselves to. And what it does is, the only radical thing about it is actually to have all the good laws in one place. And all the countries in our world need to do this. They need to upgrade the legal framework to the reality that information doesn't have any borders anymore. So we have different legal environments that the media has to work within. Some countries have very poor standards for freedom of expression and information. And probably the most sort of secret country in these mix of countries in Europe of bad media law is the UK. And that's very disturbing because most of the media, we live in copy-paste flipping burgers media environment where you look at news from Reuters or AP or BBC or The Guardian, you sort of rework your news based on them. Now, if you're only getting a fragment of the news, none of the bad news about BP, how they are, behaving in a criminal behavior against the environment or peoples in different parts of the world, then you are falsifying history. Because what these companies are also doing, the companies, the big corporations, they have discovered ahead of us that information doesn't have any borders and thus the legal framework can be abused, such as in the UK. The UK has the infamous libel courts. I don't know if you're aware of what libel courts are, but it means that, let's say you publish a book in Canada. There was a Canadian author that published a book by a Canadian publisher about the largest mining company in Canada. It was enough to buy 25 copies in the UK of this particular book in order to sue her, so it would be a liable tourism. So, liable tourism, I mean. So, to be taken to that court is very expensive, even if you win. You're still going to carry a lot of expenses. And for most publishers and most publications, it's too much of a burden because they are in a fragile state, because all the media is going on the internet. So they usually do settlements out of court, which means that they're not going to publish, and then they're not going to get sued. So we have to make ourselves aware of all these legal environments that we're living in order to stop it. And it would not have surfaced unless what Wikileaks did by opening up the floodgate, by being the icebreaker into a lot of areas. And they raised the awareness in our world about the status of the flow of information, that it is really poor. And there is so much self-censorship going on in Europe. And so we're hoping that IME will become the standard. And there was just on the 7th of this month a resolution passed in the European Parliament with an overwhelming support that the EU supports and is supportive of the Icelandic Modern Media Initiative and hopes to adapt similar legislation. So even in little areas like this, they can have massive impact. So a little country with 315,000 people can do massive impact. So can you imagine what countries like Spain and all these really old countries with the incredible richness of culture could do to make this world a better place if people would apply themselves to do it? Because nothing is impossible, absolutely nothing.